You know what, chat? Like I said earlier, I think it's time for a new challenge. We've done some other challenges as of late that haven't quite worked out. They'll probably never see the light of day on the YouTube side of things just because they were either a massive headache, like only using players 35 years old and up, which is a possible to succeed at challenge, but my God, is it a headache. And then the undrafted free agent only challenge still doesn't work that well. Even with the way player development works this year, it's still just a massive, massive pain. So thankfully, at this current time, it was the right time to be in the market to look at starting a new franchise because Snipe and Score production on the YouTube side of things, has come out with the new roster. Again, it'll be out when we're obviously talking right now live. Is on June 29th is when this roster will be out. For those watching live right now, obviously it'll be out, a little bit later in the day. Shout out to Rob for the 67 months. By the way, I know Habs fans are pumped.
Highly unnecessary.
We'll see if you're right to be 5 years from now. And we are going to be using Snipe's new 1992-1993 based roster. Now, obviously, we have been doing challenges and series with all of Snipe's flashback content because it's some of the best content that's out there for this game, and obviously these rosters are insane to use. Snipe will have a video up on his account going through everything in regards to the players, the rosters, setup for this, so of course check our boy out. And Twitch-wise we'll be mentioning that a lot, and then YouTube-wise whenever I upload this we'll have the link to Snipe's stuff. So yeah, 1992-93, a long time ago, where the Montreal Canadiens, led by Patrick Waugh, won the Stanley Cup, the most recent team to win said cup. I'm not looking at using the team that won the Stanley Cup that year. What I am looking to do, obviously, is to take a garbage, god-awful team and turn them around. And fun fact, there were two teams that were absolute trash garbage in the year 1992-93 out of the 24 teams at the time that were in the league. The first team, the Ottawa Senators, who were in fact absolute trash garbage terrible, finishing with a record of 10 wins, 70 losses, and 4 ties for 24 points. The other team that absolutely sucked finished with 11 wins, 71 losses, and 2 ties for 24 points as well. The San Jose Sharks. Both of these teams absolutely sucked. And I'm going to leave it up to Snipe for which team we take control of because it's his roster. Now, Snipe, I know you're a Sens fan, but maybe you want to see me control the Sharks. I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to you in terms of what team we control. And again, a reminder for those that, at least live, missed the conversation. While you can substitute teams out to the created version of each of these NHL rosters, right? Like Buffalo, Boston, they're all recreated. If you do that, unfortunately, with the way the game works and database management works, you don't get access to all the unsigned prospects that a team would have. So a team like the Arizona Coyotes, if you were to replace them with the Winnipeg Jets, Nikolai Khabibulin would disappear into the void. So the logos are going to be updated, but obviously, if we ever get into gameplay and stuff like that, we can use flashback versions of their jerseys that were close to the time. Again, Snipe has all of that covered in his roster. He said put it to a wheel spin. So, I'm going to let chat vote on this right now. It's going to be very anticlimactic for the YouTube side of things. Whenever this goes up, I'm probably going to try to upload this soon. Will we use the Sens or the Sharks, chat? The choice is yours. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? I will let chat decide. Both teams, again, absolutely sucked in this reality. I mean, there's just nothing to really converse about. They were terrible. And we'll see who you guys want to use. But, of course, the Coyotes would have been the Winnipeg Jets, Teemu Selanne at the very top. Bruins with Ray Bourque, Adam Oates, Cam Neely, Mo Gilney, LaFontaine, and Howard, Chuck on Buffalo. And Snipe, I'm sure, is going to run down everything about the roster. And if you're interested, live watching now, go back in the VOD for this very stream. We went through everything in regards to what those custom jerseys look like, what the players look like, their abilities, so on and so forth. It looks like the Sharks will get the nod, so I tried to be nice to snipe and say, hey, we could use Ottawa. You know what would make me more mad? Use Los Angeles. Well, fun fact, I won't be doing that. I do not want Wayne Gretzky. I do not want Wayne Gretzky, who was about to play at Crypto.com Arena because of this goddamn limitation. But hey, we'll make the most of it. We are going to control the San Jose Sharks. Why not? Why not? Now, I do have to go through the whole setting up the frickin' conferences, divisions, and all that happy nonsense really quickly, so allow me to do that. And again, in terms of like the settings and everything like that, Snipe's video will cover it, and obviously for Twitch, you guys just saw what it is. So we are going to start off with the Adams division, which is going to be Boston, Colorado, a.k.a. the Quebec Nordiques, Montreal. We have Hartford, a.k.a. Carolina. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Boston, Quebec, Montreal. Yeah, it's 6. We got Montreal, Hartford. We need Buffalo and Ottawa. So Ottawa is in and Buffalo is in for what was at the time the Adams division. We have the other Eastern Conference division, the Patrick division, which is going to be Pittsburgh at the very top, the Washington Capitals. We have the New York Islanders, the New Jersey Devils, the Philadelphia Flyers, and the New York Rangers. In the Patrick division, we go to the Clarence Campbell Conference, a.k.a. the Western Conference. I have a quick question. Are you left or right-handed hockey? Right-handed. We have the Norris division with the Chicago hockey team, the Detroit Red Wings, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yes, again, for those who aren't old, the Toronto Maple Leafs used to be a Western Conference team. We also have the St. Louis Blues, the Minnesota/Dallas Stars, North Stars, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. The fuck? And then the Smythe division, Arizona, a.k.a. Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, San Jose, and the LA Kings. Ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. And then in the AHL, technically we could not replicate what the AHL looked like. In the game, you can only have 2 or 4 divisions. In the real-life AHL, there were technically 3 divisions. So we're not going to be able to perfectly replicate this, unfortunately. Snipe had his own way of doing the divisions that I know he's going to go with 4. I'm going to go with 2 just for the memes of it, basically. Because, hey, 2 divisions sounds kind of fun. So in terms of who we have to replace, we do have to replace a lot of teams. We are going to replace the AHL side. So the Springfield Thunderbirds with the St. Louis Blues, they are going to be out for, where is Peoria? Peoria is in. Los Angeles will not be with the Ontario Reign, which is weird. Los Angeles was with Phoenix. Go figure. Oh, this is going to take so long to load. San Jose. We're not with the Barracuda, obviously. Our AHL team in this run is going to be Kansas City. Because when you think about the Sharks minor league team, Kansas City doesn't replacing NHL teams reset. It doesn't reset the divisions. It resets the names, which is why I didn't do the names yet. Big brain. Big brain. Dallas, instead of being with the Texas Stars, they will be affiliated with Kalamazoo. Still an incredibly fun city name. Shout out to Michigan. Calgary will not be with the Calgary Wranglers. They will be with Salt Lake City. Let's see. We got Chicago, so we got to remove Rockford and bring in Indianapolis again. Obviously, custom league, it's amazing, especially for stuff like this. Does it take a little bit of time to set stuff up? Yeah, but it's worth it. New Jersey. We need to get rid of the Utica Comets and replace them, surprise, surprise, with Utica. Tremendous. Colin, take it easy, by the way. The Hartford Wolfpack with the New York Rangers. You are out for the Binghamton Rangers. Can you believe it? We go to the Rochester Amherst, who you'll be shocked to know are going to be replaced by Rochester. Shocking. I know. Shocking. We need to replace the Hershey Bears, who are with Washington, with Baltimore. But have no fear, because the Lehigh Valley Phantoms with Philadelphia will see the return of the Hershey Bears. And then we have Vancouver with the Abbotsford Canucks. They will be replaced by Hamilton. We have the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. It'll be Cleveland affiliated with Pittsburgh in this reality. Fat L for Cleveland. How appropriate that their logo is just a giant L. Ottawa, instead of Belleville, we need Connecticut's. The Connecticut Senators. With Hartford, instead of the Chicago Wolves, a.k.a. Carolina, we need it to be Springfield. The New York Islanders will have the Islanders. The fact it's still the Bridgeport Islanders bothers the crap out of me. You didn't have the proper New Haven option, as Snipe mentioned to me. So it's Capital City. Detroit. Grand Rapids needs to be replaced by Adirondack. You won't believe this one, chat. The Providence Bruins are going to be replaced by the Providence Bruins. Let's see. The Bakersfield Condors will be replaced by Cape Breton. The Syracuse Crunch shall be replaced by Atlanta. Be with Tampa. The Toronto Marlies, who are over here, they will be replaced by the longtime home there, the St. John's Maple Leafs. Let's see. We need the Colorado Eagles to be replaced by Halifax. We need Arizona/Winnipeg, which would be the Tucson Roadrunners, to be replaced by Moncton. And last but not least, I am not mistaken, it is Laval being replaced as Montreal's AHL affiliate with Fredericton. Shout out to Fredericton. I like Fredericton. So there you go. That is the AHL setup. Obviously, in terms of divisions, I need to make some decisions here really quickly. So what we'll probably do is a North and South division, because real life they had North, Atlantic, and South. So we will just do a North division and a South division, and I'll just rework what teams go where, since again we can't have 3 divisions, unfortunately, the way this game is programmed. So the North division, we are going to want Providence there. We are going to want Adirondack. Actually, in fairness, it was the Capital District Islanders instead of Capital City, which is really weird. Actually, Snipe, I don't think I got bad advice from you, but I think we had a miscommunication about what team is what. Nope, never mind. We're fine. We're good. I lied. I'm a terrible friend. I did hit the B button, and if that reset everything, I'm gonna cry. We're fine. Woo! Nothing like a little mini panic attack. Hell yeah, that was fun. Freaking fat finger a button and all of a sudden you have a goddamn panic attack. Hate it here. Let's get the Connecticut Sens in there. The freaking capital city thing absolutely screwed with me. How the hell were Binghamton in the South? What? How that Binghamton and Rochester were in the South Division? I mean, in fairness, the AHL has changed and expanded a ton in recent years just in terms of location. South Canada, I guess. We got Hamilton. And we need Hershey. Right, so these other teams... Goodness, I do have to rename the divisions. That was bound to happen. I knew something was going to screw up, but that's okay. That is okay. Again, we got the North Division. USA is just Canada's deep south. Is that why Alberta has an affinity for Texas? All right, so let's see. Geographically, St. John's does probably make more sense to be in a division that also includes Hamilton. So that is totally fair. Totally fair. In fairness of the Hershey Bears also need to be over here. Frederick, well then again, it's the South Division though, so would it not make sense to put them over there? It just doesn't make sense. All right, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it. We might have to change what is defined as North and screw it. Screw it. I'm taking creative liberties. All the Canadian teams are going to the North. I don't even care. I don't even care. This is ridiculous. All right, really quickly. Is there anybody else who makes more sense to put in the North? I mean, obviously we could like move Adirondack over for somebody and then Indianapolis. Okay, what we'll do, we're gonna move Kalamazoo over because Michigan and Indianapolis can stay. It's fine. It's fine the way it is. Damn you, EA, for not allowing me to change this the way I wanted to change it. It's fine. We have the best name ever for a conference. If it'll work. The Prince of Wales Conference. AKA... Oh, fuck you. I knew you weren't going to let me have that many characters. The POW Conference. We'll just have the Wales Conference. Keep it simple. Division-wise, we will have the Adams. Say hello to the Adams division. And it did reset the divisions, didn't it? Ah, it's fine. It'll be easy. I'm done with having to mess around with the AHL. At least, son of a bitch. Don't accidentally hit the B button or lose 5 minutes worth of progress. Thanks, EA. Love ya. Keep up the great work. And keep providing those shit default rosters that you provide, while having numerous people who could do a great job at improving them. The Campbell. the Campbell, which will also have the Norris division. Maybe spells whales like the animal. That's not how they spelled it, though. Yell at people in the past, damn it. We got the Norris division. The Danica Patrick Conference. I mean, hey. Brought to you by GoDaddy, am I right? All right, so in your Adams division, it is Boston, totally still the Quebec Nordiques, the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to just sort them by their finish in the actual season. The Buffalo Sabres, the totally Hartford Whalers, Carolina Hurricanes, and as we mentioned, the Ottawa Senators. The Patrick features Pittsburgh, Washington, the New York Islander, the New Jersey Devils, the Philadelphia Flyers, and dead last, the New York Rangers, who wouldn't be that far off of winning a Stanley Cup. The Norris division, we got Chicago, the Detroit Red Wings, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the St. Louis Blues, the totally Minnesota North Stars, and the Tampa Bay Lightning, meaning I'm not going to sort there alphabetically, but there you go. So we're good. We are good. That took a little bit longer than I wanted, but you know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's good. We are the San Jose Sharks. We'll never understand why you don't accept help from passionate roster creators. I don't either. Thank you for the 16 months, Pep. I appreciate you. I don't either. Owner mode will be off. Fantasy draft will be off, although it could be fun. Player morale. Player morale can suck it. I've dealt with player morale a lot recently, and player morale can suck it. Let's see. We won't worry about Fog of War. Trade difficulty will be on hard because I hate myself. We're actually never going to play, but we might see some in-game stuff, of course. We will have injuries on because someone like Cam Neely has like 50 durability. And I want to see how well that works. I know people get annoyed by having to edit the lines for injuries, but I do think it could be pretty funny. Again, a key, turn off retired jersey numbers so that Gretz can actually wear number 99. Waiver notifications are fine. I'm not going to worry about trade offer notifications, though, because I don't like having the block on. If I need to make a trade, I'll just make it. Prospect quality, we're going to put on low because there are real-life prospects that Snipe added in. We will put the scoring. What should the Snipe, based on what you recall from looking at the stats more recently than I have, what should the scoring be on? Like, what was league scoring? Should it be on high? Should it be on medium? Should it be on low? Oh, the 90s would be high. I mean, that's what I was thinking, right? Is a lot of like a 900 save percentage itself was good. So let's go on high. Auto rotate's good. All that's looking okay. Goodness. Stupid that the league retired. And I had a medium last night. Lemieux had like 70 goals and 120 points. Oh, we're putting it on high then and just going for it. I want 180 points for Mario Lemieux. I want it. I'm here for it. Let's do it. I want Lemieux to destroy worlds. So really quickly then, looking at unsigned players. So again, if I didn't leave the actual Sharks in, like Mike Rathje just would have like disappeared basically. So you want to make sure, again, if you're doing franchise, to probably keep that. And again, there are a bunch of players like that, like Ian LaPerriere, Steve Stais, who, yes, started as a forward, wasn't always a defenseman. Obviously, some teams will have some higher quality dudes, like Mike Pekka for Vancouver, Sergei Gonchar for the Capitals, big unsigned player, right? So, and you might have noticed, too, again, cap space is off. There was no salary cap at the time, so we're going to get to have some fun here, hopefully. But yeah, you want to make sure that certain guys like this, especially Jeff Shantz. I thought it was Jim Shantz. Maybe there was a Jim Shantz. Especially Jeff Shantz. And some guy named Peter Forsberg. The old Peter Forsberg. But let's take a look. First and foremost, at our team. We're going to be able to sim this first season pretty quickly because we are going to suck. But I do want to show you what some of the lines are going to look like around the league. And then obviously, if you can think of prospects that are out there that might be in the AHL, like
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
Start, we'll see. Shout out to Hershey Bears 13. Thank you for the follow. Congrats on the Calder Cup. Another one. You have too many of them. Our goaltenders here in San Jose for season 1, Arthur Zerbe, or the Irb, as I've heard it pronounced. I'm pretty sure it's Zerbe. The Latvian legend, and Jeff Hackett, who was okay. Those are our 2 goalies this year. We do technically have 32-year-old Brian Hayward in the AHL, Wade Flaherty, and Dan Ryder. So, yeah, not much there. Irbe is our guy. Defensively, Sharks legend, Doug Wilson, of course, but he is 35 years old. Doug Smolik is there, who is okay. Shout out to Alway. What a man. That's a man who's looking to play some FC Pro Clubs tonight. I see you. Thank you for the 8 months on the primer, buddy. I appreciate it. On the main account tonight, too. We got Neil Wilkinson at 25. He's okay. For the record, I am down to play, too. Depending on how late people can play. Jason Moore is fine. Tom Peterson. So the good thing is, like, we do have a young defense. It's just, like, nobody to actually build around right now. Aside from Sandis, the Man-Dish Ozelinsh. Nobody else called him the Man-Dish, but me. So I'll be calling him Man-Dish a lot. Be prepared for that. And then in the system, we got a lot of dudes, including David Williams, who, Peter Ahola, who, Claudio Screamin'. Screamin'? Did you miss anything crazy at the draft? I mean, like, the Ducks went off the board at 3, but nothing too crazy. There were trades involving picks, but nothing like, the rights to Jake Gensel were traded. Nothing fun like that. Link Gates, the ultimate enforcer. We might have to go with Link Gates. He was a crazy son of a bitch. Yeah, as you can tell, we do not have a ton to build around here. Marcus Ragnarsson's not bad, but that's a low overall at 21. IRL, he did make the Sharks and played there for a bit, but we'll try to optimize a smidge if we can. Right wing side, we have Pat Falloon at 19. Solid player. Very solid player. Rob Goudreau. Solid player. Won't be anything too crazy. Jeff Odgers, who is fine. He's an enforcer, too, and a good one at that. 5-star physical. Ed Courtenay, who is a depth forward. Robin Bawa, which is amazing. That's about it. The defense on that right side, or the depth on that right side, Mikhail Kravitz, father of Lenny, who's not that great. Left side, we have Johan Garpenloff, who is solid for us. Solid with the passing ability, especially. Mark Peterson, he's okay. He's an NHLer. John Carter, he's okay. David, I believe it's Maley. It might have been Malley. He's also fine. As you can tell, we have a lot of that dude existed. We do have Ray Whitney, though, as a prospect. We are probably playing him on the top line this year. David Bruce, who has 2 first names. Yaroslav Otfarel, who isn't great. J.F. Quinton, although he's probably Jean-Francois Quintin. Michel Picard, not that great. And Doty Wood. You've heard of Hollywood. How about Doty Wood? Heinrich, for the record, that last song was Seeing Double at the Triple Rock by NoFX. So, yeah. Yeah. We also got Larry DePalma. We got a whole bunch of nothing, mostly. And then at center, Kelly Kisio, I believe it was, at 32, who's probably, we probably want to trade you for picks, right? At 32. Dean Evison, former Minnesota Wild head coach. We got Mike Sullivan. Pretty sure, yeah, it's the same Mike Sullivan that was the Penguins coach and the Bruins coach, I think. Perry Barazan. And Hubie McDonough. For depth, it was Kissio. Sorry, it was Kissio, not Kisio. Fair enough. We do have Igor Larionov. He's old and probably going to get traded. Dale Craigwell, who is fine. John Morris, AHLer. Gary Emmons, AHLer. Mark Buffet, AHLer. Jeff McLean, AHLer. So case in point, we don't have much to work with here. And our game plan for the most part is going to be to develop young talent and trade away a lot of dudes. Now, why would you want to trade away a lot of dudes? Because as I mentioned, Snipe has gone ahead and added in all the prospects of the time for the first 4 or 5 drafts or so, including, for this year, Paul Kariya, Martin St. Louis, Chris Pronger, Saku Koivu, Jason Arnott, Jason Allison, Victor Kozlov, Ruslan Saleh, fuck that guy, Kenny Johnson, Darcy Tucker, Brian McCabe, Adam Deadmarsh. Oh, this draft is going to be fun. Kimmo Timonen's out there, Marek Malik, Miro Shatan, Eric Daze, Yanni Ninima, Vinny Prospel, Alexander Daig, who of course went first overall. He will not be going first overall this time. Mike Johnson, Frantisek Caberlet, Jamie Langenbrunner, Brendan Morrison, Todd White, Sammy Sal. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is fantastic. And it looks like for the most part we avoided generated dudes. So, like there's Josh Stahl, who's obviously generated as a goalie. Carlos Krastic is there, Andrew Burnett. So this is going to be fun. Shout out to Mike Greer as well, future Sharks player. So this will be fun, to say the least. What I want to do here is set up this roster in a way that makes sense. And what I mean by that is, oh man, it probably doesn't even make sense to call up Ragnarsson right now. Redemption night. We are going to play. I might ask the Pro Clubs crowd to wait until top of the hour if that's not too late. But yeah, we are going to play. For sure. Man, outside of Link Gates, Ozolinsh as a depth defenseman might be better suited in the AHL, but man, if we play him on the top pair this year, maybe he'll really develop for us. You know? Let's send down Rob Zettler. Peterson was 22, Moore was 23, Wilkinson was 25. Oh, goodness. The first big decision. Do we play Ozolinsh on a terrible NHL team this year or send him down in the AHL, let him tear it up, and call up Link Gates to punch faces? I think we want Link Gates to punch faces. I think. So, yeah, we'll let Ozolinsh tear it up. These other guys, though, are actually ready, so. Right wing side, again, Kravitz wasn't that good. Bawa's 26. We can send Bawa down. Left wing side. I think we'll let Ray Whitney tear it up in the AHL, too. That doesn't seem like a bad way to go. Not worried about having John Carter on the roster. And then Larionov, at least as long as he's here, gets called up. And we will go with... They're both two ways. Perry Berezan has a bit more physicality, which is what we're going to want from that fourth line. So let's see what our team will look like this year. We're not going to have much we can do with staff or anything like that to optimize. So, hey, at least the top line's good. That's not bad. Courtney, Goodrow, Pat Falloon, Igor Larionov, although we want Larionov elsewhere. So, yeah, we want Pat Falloon on that top line for sure. Odgers can be a... Man, Odgers is an enforcer, too. I mean, yeah, AJ, you know my opinion. There's no such thing as someone reaching in the draft. That just doesn't exist. At least in my opinion. So let's see. Berezan can be down. Evison we want on the third line as a grinder. You know, we're actually going to be able to get some decent chemistry out of this team. My fear is that if we don't tear it apart early, that they might actually do kind of okay. They certainly won't be as bad as they were in real life. Peterson's 23. Honestly, that works. That works. I am very much afraid this team actually won't be that bad, which isn't good news for us. We didn't really have a goalie to build around. So we want Ozelinch on that top pairing. I do have to double check the defense here. Let's get Joyce out of there. Does Coleman have a potential? Not really. Kolstad, not really. Yeah, none of these guys. Outside of Ragnarsson. Outside of Ragnarsson. And we'll run Ozelinch and Ragnarsson together with that top pair time. Is there any way to get rid of that -1? No. That's fine. And then forward-wise, outside of Whitney being on the top pair, we didn't have anybody else to worry about anyway. Like Wood, De Palma, a couple of enforcers. Okay, so hopefully the AHL team has a good year. I imagine we're going to pick up some prospects along the way. But I do want to see what some of these other rosters look like on opening night. Just to see what the AI does within franchise mode with their teams. So again, Colorado, technically Quebec. If we ever play Colorado in the playoffs, which in fairness, they're an Eastern Conference team. Did I replace the Sharks? No, I did not. Is that a glitch? Okay, that's definitely a glitch we've seen before, right? That it's rocking that as their home jerseys. That's not supposed to happen. Well, we found a way to break the game, and I haven't even simmed a regular season game. That is incredible. Yep, so it's showing the late 90s, early 2000s jerseys as their home, but then also showing their current look as the home. That is very much not their 2022. Well, actually, yeah, it was because of the Sharks. The order, I still think, is a little bit... That's really weird. But again, Colorado, if we play them, we throw them into the Nordiques unis. So that'll be the game plan there. That's really weird. But let's see what the 23 other teams in the league happen to look like for this season. So this will be technically the Winnipeg Jets. Again, same thing. If we play them, we will consider them Winnipeg. And like I said, if you want to see the rosters in full, it's easy enough to do so once Snipe has his videos out, which again, by the time people on YouTube see this, it will be out. But led by Kachuk, Zhamnov, Solani, absolutely stacked in that regard. Ty Domi on the team too. And again, they got some good abilities on defense as well with Housley, Olesen, and Teppo Numanen. Their goalie, Bob Essenza. And Hrivniak there as well. Chris King, Randy Carlisle as a scratch. Bautine there as well. The Boston Bruins, led by Adam Oates, Cam Neely, Joe Juno's there, Dave Poulin. Guys like Steve Hines down. Smolinski on the fourth line. Defense led by Glenn Leslie, but they are playing Ray Bourque on the second pairing. We might have to trade for Ray Bourque to save him from that. Dude, hold on. 1992-90 Boston Bruins. Who was the head coach of the Bruins for this year? It was Brian Sutter. If Brian Sutter, of the Sutter dynasty, by the way, ever did that, he would have been thrown in the Boston Harbor like tea. Goalie-wise, they have Andy Moog as their starter. No crazy scratches. For the Buffalo Sabres, Howardchuk, LaFontaine, Mogilny. Jesus Christ, that top line is absolutely stacked. Woo! We'll see if Buffalo does anything in Season 1. Top defenseman, though, was Doug Bodger in terms of one with abilities. They do have some other pieces in the mix. And, of course, their goaltender, he's not quite what you thought he was going to be, or what you think of with Dominik Hasek. That's still a really good rating, though, for the Dominator. They got Grant Fuhr as well. Brad May. Bill Holder. He better have a mustache, Snipe. He better. Calgary. Gary Roberts, Joe Nieuwendyk, Theo Fleury, Sergei Makarov, Robert Reichel, Joel Otto. Damn. Defense, Gary Suter, Al McInnes, who I can confirm has the skullet, of course. And he's beautiful. Goaltender, Mike Vernon as their starter. Yeah, I definitely... Brian Skrudlin as a scratch. I definitely wanted to see if any team would do anything weird like the Bruins did with Bork. The technically Hartford Whalers, again, to make sure they didn't lose their prospects. Jeff Sanderson, Andrew Castles, Pat Verbeek, Tim Kerr, who apparently wasn't supposed to have that ability, but whatever, it's an Easter egg for us. Michael Nylander's there as well. McInnes isn't afraid. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking of... Look, I'm trying to rush through this because there's a lot to cover. And yes, I confused the Owls. I can confirm that I afraid he has the skullet, and that Al McInnes was the worst defenseman of all time because he played for the Calgary Flames, the worst franchise in NHL history. The puck wasn't in, and I don't know why I'm insulting Crash, because even though he's from the Calgary area, he's actually a Kings fan. So none of this helps. Anyway, defense for the Whalers. Zarli Zalapski and his band of merry men. I mean, Eric Weinrich's not that bad, but yeah. Goalie-wise, at least my team doesn't have a big dumb stripe on the bottom of their jersey. There. Got the Sean Burke. They had Nick Kyprios as a scratch in Hartford. Unbelievable. Calgary didn't have Trevor Kidd, no. Chicago, damn. Goulet, Hall of Famer Jeremy Roenick, Steve Larmer, Brent Sutton. They got some abilities in Chicago. Good Lord. Good Lord. Defense, Steve Smith, Chris Chelios. What's his skating ability? 82. Not nearly good enough. Not nearly good enough. Again, a 1992-93 build. Eddie Belfour as their starter. We'll see how good goalies are in this reality, because, again, franchise mode's weird. The Quebec Nordiques. Matt Sundin, Joe Sakic, Owen Nolan. This team is so gross. Still, it's tough not to feel bad for, Quebec Nordiques fans, Expos fans, and just, granted, the Expos, when they moved, they didn't go on to then win, but they got robbed of a title in 94 for different reasons, but just fan bases that did not get what they deserved. Got the Steve Duchesne, Adam Foote, Curtis Lasician. Was that Danico? It sure was. This universe, the Whalers moved to Raleigh a few years early. And goalie-wise, yeah, Forsberg was an unsigned prospect at this time. Ron Hextall and Fisette for the Nordiques. Let's see. The Dallas Stars / Minnesota North Stars, led by, of course, Mike Modano, and a very good supporting cast as far as abilities are concerned. All Dolan up there. Defense, Darian Hatcher, who picked up an injury in the preseason. Mark Tenorti, they have a very physical defense. And their goaltender, John Casey. Darcy Wakaluk. Duchesne, Sherman Titoff, and Stuart Gavin as the scratches. The Detroit Red Wings. The top line is unreal. Fedorov, Yzerman, Cicerelli. That should be illegal. That should be illegal. Of course, Bob Probert on the fourth line with his 99 fighting skill. It's ridiculous. Defense. Coffey, Konstantinov, Lidstrom and Howe, McCrimmon and Chason. Good Lord. 22-year-old Nicholas Lidstrom, by the way. Goaltender, Tim Chevelday. The weak link of the team. John Grodnick is a healthy scratch. Fair enough. The Edmonton Oilers, not what they used to be. Craig Simpson, Doug Waite, Scott Mellenby, Shane Corson, and others. What a team. What a team. Defense, Dave Manson, their best player. Goalie-wise, Billy Ranford, Ron Tugnut, Sean Padine, and Martin Jelena. Healthy scratches. The Los Angeles Kings. It was his era. It's Robitaille, Gretzky, Curry, Jimmy Carson, Thomas Sanchez. Jesus Christ. Oh, the Gretzky era Oilers. Oilers, Kings. Jesus, I'm tired too. Have I mentioned that? Just looking back in the chat, and it's fine. Everything's fine. Defense. How'd the Kings team not win a cup? Patrick Waugh. That's how. That is how. The correct answer to that question is Patrick frickin' Waugh. Let's see. Goalie, Kelly Rudy. Bob Stauber behind him. And the Montreal Canadiens, speak of the Devils, the team that beat the Kings in the final. Kirk Muller, Vinny Danfus, Savard, Bellows, Carbonneau, Jean Leclerc. Good Christ. You see how stacked some of these teams are compared to what we're starting with. Defense, Schneider and Desjardins. They had Brisebois already. And, like elite level defender, but still a really solid defense. Goaltender, the previously aforementioned Patrick Waugh. Absolute monster. Prime of his career. The New Jersey Devils, Bobby Holik, Bernie Nichols, Claude Lemieux. It's a pretty damn good team. That right-hand side is stacked, by the way. 20-year-old Bill Guerin on the fourth line. They're going to have to figure something out in terms of who's playing where on that right side in the future. Defense is hilarious. Scott Stevens, Scott Niedermayer, Bruce Driver, Fetisov. Were there any... Snipe, I didn't ask about the free agent list, and I also didn't think to look until just now. Again, Martin Brodeur down in the minors, at least for another season. It's Chris Terreri and Craig Billington. Randy McKay is a scratch. Yeah, there were. I'll have to check that list. The New York Islanders, who weren't terrible, shockingly. Derek King, Pierre Turgeon, Ray Ferraro, Travis Green, Marty McInnes, Haken Lube. I think just signed with them because he wasn't there before. Defense, Kasparaitis and Krupp, Malakoff and Tom Curvers. I think it was Scott LaChance. Goaltender, Glenn Healy. Mark Fitzpatrick. Yeah, they already have an injury to David Volek. Fair enough. The New York Rangers. My God. We're not going to be able to compete for a long time. We're not going to be able to compete for a very long time with how stacked some of these teams are. Good Lord. That speaks for itself right there. Defense, Leach, Zubov, Lowe, and Patrick. Crash, you remember how I just asked about free agent signings? There you go. Goaltender for the Rangers, Van Beesbrook and Richter. Van Beesbrook and Richter. Damn. Phil Bork's there. And again, some of these guys may not be where they're supposed to be because of free agent. I'm going to go check to see who signed where. The Ottawa Senators, who we easily could have started with, they're bad. They are bad. We would have been in a rough spot no matter who we chose. Their defense, they have Norm McIver, but not great. Darren Rumble, though, father of a legend. Goalie-wise, Peter Sidorkowicz and Daniel Brachy. Mark Lamb is a scratch. The Philadelphia Flyers with a redonkulous top line of Brindamore at 22, Lindros at 19, and Mark Recchi at 24. I'm going to be very intrigued to see if they keep that top line together. Gary Galley, Dmitry Yaskevich, the top two defensemen on the Flyers. And their goaltender, Tommy Soderstrom. Dominic Roussel. Let's see. The Pittsburgh Penguins, yep. Stevens, Lemieux, Yager, McEachern, Francis Tocchet. Dude, they got Joe Mullen on the third line with Goldschnipe. Good Lord. Watch out for them in the sim this year. Jesus Christ. Defense, Ulf Samuelsson. Sorry, as a Bruins fan, I have to. Larry Murphy, Joel Samuelson, Peter Taglianetti. Goalies, Tom Barrasso and Ken Reggett. Damn. The St. Louis Blues, great top line of Brendan Shanahan, Craig Janney, and Brett Hull. He went Blues. Got some other decent pieces there, including Ron Wilson. Defense, Doug Crossman, Jeff Brown, Garth Butcher, the legend Rick Zombo. Goalies, Cujo and 25-year-old Guy Hebert. Tall Brett Hedican is scratches. Okay. The Tampa Bay Lightning, new to the scene. Ryan Bradley, John Tucker. They're not much further ahead than we are in San Jose or Ottawa, that's for sure. Their defense, Roman Hammerlick, though, at 18. Great piece. And again, Mark Bergevin. What a guy. What biceps. Goalies, Pat Jablonski and Wendell Young. Damn. The Toronto Maple Leafs of the Western Conference. Andrew Chuck Gilmore and Anderson. Wendell Clark, John Cullen, and Nikolai Borchevsky. Bill Berg there. Defense led by Dave Ellett. Good old Dave Ellett. Jake Barahowski. Goaltender, Felix the Cat Potvin. And Darren Poopa. Dave Shannon and McIlwain is the scratches. The Vancouver Canucks. I mean, obviously, Ronning, Bure, Linden, Cornell, and Nedved. Damn, that's a team. And there was some surprise at Bure not having gold wheels, but 96 for his skating category. It's pretty good. Their defense, led by Jyrki Lume. Gary Slager's there. Dave Babich. Not that bad. Goaltender, Kirk McLean. Kay Whitmore behind him. Got Volk, Dirk, and Plavsic there. And the Washington Capitals round us out with Hunter, Ridley, and Bondra. Pavonka's there. Kristich. Not bad. Connor Walchuk and current Flyers GM Keith Jones. The defense, Rod Langway. Old man at this point. Kevin Hatcher. Al, don't call him McInnes, I afraidy. Johansson. And goaltending-wise, Don Beaupre and Rick Tabaracci. So really quickly, just to see if any... I don't know if any trades were made either. Okay, so there was a trade already. Chicago picked up Ken Danico, which was the confusion for the Danico, and a third for Roman Cechmanek, and a second-round pick going to New Jersey. New Jersey acquiring Cechmanek when they already have Brodeur. Very cool feature, custom league, custom rosters like this from Snipe and Score, but you can't stop the AI from being the AI, can you? You just can't do it. And then signings. Clint Malarchuk was a free agent. Tommy Salo went to the Islanders. Hakan Lube to the Islanders. Shimon Titov, Steve Ruchin to the Devils. Dwayne Rollison. I wonder if I missed out on any really good prospects. Really the goalie off to Tampa. Chicago had just signed Cechmanek, and then they flipped him. Well, really quickly, let's see who else is out there. We might as well. We are on a full set of contracts. Is that Blaine Locker? Bruins legend, Blaine Locker. So top goalie out there is going to be Roland Melanson at a 76. There's a Peter Ing. Peter Ing's out there, too. Blaine Locker as a medium backup is the best of the bunch, though. Defensively, Hillier is out there. Svensson. No major players to be signed. There is, was that Lubomir Sakaris? It is Lubomir Sakaris. Decent potential, but he's 23 already. Right wing side. Johnston, Arbano, Karjalainen. Any good prospects? I bought him 6 for Karpov. That's not too bad. Yeah, really nobody to like immediately sign and be like, oh, get all the good players. And if they were there, they're already gone. basically. Couple of medium 9s. There's Magnus Arvidsson, but yeah, nothing too crazy. Jim Montgomery, a god of coaching until he runs into the Florida Panthers. Jim Montgomery. So, yeah, there you go. Probably won't be too many more signings. So we are ready to go. Season 1. 2 things are going to happen. We're going to suck, and we're going to trade a lot of players because Paul Kariya will hopefully be on a California team. Oh boy, that wears black and teal instead of anything else.